Hello. Sunny. Sunny with blue skies. So in this little video, I'm going to talk about digital IDs in the UK. Bird, stop licking. It's been something on the agenda for many years, and they've always been trying to find an excuse to implement them. They know that most people would be 100% fully against digital IDs. That's my stance, by the way, 100% against. And this time they've come up with we need them because of illegal migrants. Well, the cheapest, easiest option is to stop the boats. They're never going to do that. If you remember Richie Sunak, that was his promise. My 5 things. Number 1, I'm going to stop the boats. And the wonderful Keir, God almighty, that guy, disgusting. He said his priority is to stop the boats. When there's more boats have come over in the UK in 6 months, 7 months than ever. And in fact, under Keir, they say it's 50-odd thousand. But these are illegal. So even if there's an ID system, show me your papers, they're not going to have an ID, these people. They're illegal. So it's only people that they have got some knowledge about. It's only people like the Bri. I've got a birth certificate. I've been CRB checked for most of my life, which is now DBS, data barring scheme, for most of my life, again with a DBS. I've worked, I've paid taxes, I've bought a home, you know, things like that. So they know who I am. I spend money. I've got a car. I buy petrol, whatever. So they know that I'm not an illegal migrant. So it would not affect them, it would affect me. So the question is, are you for or against them? You know, or don't you care, or don't you know? I'll tell you why I'm against them. It's for a million reasons, but just supposing that these digital, that's one of the things I'm against, is the fact that they're digital. We know there's been data breaches over the years with loads of things, and there will be with this. So it will mean that people can input whatever into your data thing. It can say, pay £5 a month to this organisation, this charity, this individual. It means they can close your bank account down. It means they could put something very terrible and false that would follow you around on your ID. They say this guy is whatever, suspected paedophile, suspected terrorist, whatever, a drug dealer. They could say all sorts. It could be so false what's written about you, what's stored electronically about you, that you have no access to see. So that's one of the things, but there will be a breach, of course, if it ever comes in. There's bound to be, especially that, you know, it's government, will be government owned and run, which means it won't be run very well, because nothing ever is. It's the government we're talking about, the clown show. My boat, I'm going this way, love. Hello. Hello. Come on then. Hey, skinny boy, this way. No, this way, this way. Come on. Too damp. It's still, even though it's hot, it's very, very damp underfoot in certain areas. I mean, as you see, I don't know, camera always lies, but these woods go up. I could lie and say it's because that's why I'm out of breath, because the wood's going up. But it's not. It's because I'm fat. And I've got a dodgy ticker, so that's the problem. So this digital ID will be connected to everything. Right? You'll go for an interview and you'll need your digital ID to be interviewed, and they store that, and somebody will put some info on there. Bro came for an interview at so-and-so, didn't get the job, not suitable. Or Bro came for an interview, we've employed him. We were going to employ him. However, we've noticed a note on there saying that he's been disqualified from driving. I haven't, but you know, he's a terrorist. I'm not, but who would care? Who would even ask me? Would a potential employer say, are you a terrorist? Are you disqualified from driving? You said you got a full driving license, and now I read this about you. So it will be connected to your work. You won't be able to work unless you've got this digital ID. And this digital ID will need to be shown in shops because there won't be money. They'll stop money if and when this digital ID comes in. This card will be your everything. I'm not going to be shouting over the bloody helicopter or whatever that is. Yeah, so the card will become everything, and the shops will take payments via this card, and this card will feed back to the government or whatever, and the government will know everything you've bought, and the government will say, wow, look at the Bri, he's bought his 10th porno magazine this week. Or, more seriously, it may say, every time Bri goes shopping, he buys a cake. And when he used this card, when he went in for his blood test at the doctor's, they weighed him, and he weighs too heavy. We think it's too heavy. So he's now not allowed to buy sweet things for a year. So you go shopping, you give your card over, and the poor woman behind the till says, look, we can accept everything, but you can't have your cake. I said, why is that? You know, well, because the government say you're too fat. But it's not her fault, so you can't have a go at her. She'd just say, well, I don't know. I cannot take payment for that cake and that bar of chocolate. You have to leave them. And then it's mandatory. It's not mandatory to have the jab, the COVID jab, but it will be with these cards, because they will say wherever you go, he is not jabbed, he is not jabbed, he is not jabbed. And Tesco's or somewhere, I'll say, look, we'll serve you this time, but this will be the 4th time you're not bloody jabbed. We're not having you in the shop next time. So go and get your jabs. And if you survive, then you can come back shopping. So it's not mandatory to vote, but it will be with these cards. Because people will say, oh, so you haven't voted yet? I'm sorry, I can't serve you. Oh, what, you wanted electric and gas and water? No, they've all been turned off. Until you vote, then we turn them back on. So I am totally 100% against, in fact, any form of ID. You know, I carry a driving licence on me, but nobody ever asked to see it. That's a form of ID, or could be. But, you know, unless you're doing a speeding down the road and the copper stops you and says, can I see your driving licence? You've got no reason to show that to anybody. I'm on a bimble now, nobody knows who I am, my name or anything. Especially digital, if they come in, there'd be a little barrier for me to come in with a car. And I'll slide my card through, my digital ID card, and it'll say, Brian Bodie out on another bimble. They'll know where I am, who worrying and frightening. Very quick little story, but this could, it wasn't, but it could be down to digital IDs. It's certainly down to false information. Years ago, a woman moved into a block of flats, and she asked her dad, he was in his 60s, would you give us a hand? It's only, you know, a double bed and a wardrobe and a couple of bits. And he said, yeah. Anyway, he helped her move in, and he'd finished, had a cup of tea with her, sorted her place out a little bit, and then went outside and got in the van. And a guy stopped him and asked him to get out of the van, and he refused. He said, why do I need to get out of the van? And half a dozen more guys turned up. They dragged him out of the van, they beat him to a pulp, this man in his 60s. And it turns out that he was a paediatrician. And somebody had put or thought he was a paedophile, so he was beat up for some false information. So imagine being put in prison for your digital ID that says this about you, but it's false. Another quick story is, I can't tell you even names because it won't matter anyway, but I had a friend called blah blah blah, and my boss was the longer version of his name, of his first name. So if his name was Baz, then my boss was Barry, we'll say, but they had the same surname. So I got my mate a job where I was working, and he said after a couple of months, he said, can I ask you a question? I said, yeah. He said, how much are you on? I said, I never discuss money really, but you know, you're a mate of mine, I'm on this. And he said, Christ, look at mine. Anyway, he showed me mine, and I realised very, very quickly that they'd made a silly mistake, but he was getting my boss's money. Now my boss, I don't know why, he never tweaked, he never said a word. I mean, surely you'd know that your money's gone down, unless you got a load of money, I don't know. But he never said a word, and my mate said, I'm going to give it a couple of months if they haven't realised I'm leaving. And that's what he did, another 2 or 3 months I think it was, and he left. He did about 6 months there on very good money, and he left. So mistakes can happen, things do happen, things can, you know, things can be wrong when it's computerised. You know, how many times have you had a problem with something and you phone up and you say, look, what the bloody hell's going on here? And they say, oh sorry, it's a computer error. It's not, it's the finger error. It's the finger that touched that key. It's the person error, it's not the computer error. Computer errors, I know they can happen, because servers go down and all sorts of different weird stuff. So my thing is, I'm against, also I'm English, I'm British, this is my country. Why would I need, show your papers please, why would I need, you can't come in here without your ID, you can't go shopping without your ID, you can't have that cake, you can't even pay for your electric, you're not allowed your gas or your water turn on because you've said a naughty word on Facebook. So we turned your gas off as a punishment. Maybe they'll say, you know, you bought too much petrol, we only want you buying £5 worth of petrol now per year, so you can only do 3 miles per year in your car, and if you don't like it, sell your car, hard luck, because it's all down to your digital ID. It's not a good thing, is it? It can't be. Maybe you think it is. If so, put down in the comments, tell me why, because I can't see anything favourable for us, and it's rubbish to say it will help with immigration. No, it won't. If you're illegal, you're not bothered whether you got ID or not, and you're certainly not going to carry ID, and we know that they've thrown their passports overboard before they get here, because some are rapists, some are murderers, some are whoever, whatever, I don't know, but they don't want to be known or found, So do you think they'd ever carry an ID, even if we could catch up with them? And could you give somebody illegal an ID? How would that work? How would that be? With me, as I say, I've got a birth certificate, I pay tax, I've done this, that, you know, blah, blah, blah. I've got a national health number. I've had surgery and things in this country under my name. Anyway, I'm against it. So, enjoy your day. Let me know what you think, if you want to, or not. Whatever you're doing, have a good day if you can. And we'll be back another day, no doubt. Until such times, be well.